So now we're going to get started with our mandala. I'm going to start with this middle portion right here, but before, I think I want to do this one in yellow. So let me find yellow in my colored pencils. Start with yellow right here. So again, we're going to use the color wheel to blend everything appropriately. So now that we have yellow in the middle, I'm going to use, let's see. I think I'm going to use the tertiary colors by blending yellow with yellow green and green for this area right here. So I think I'll do green for the little lines outside, and then yellow green for the middle part in the middle. So let's see, dark green for the outside. Again, this is both using the tertiary colors, which was where you use the three colors that are right next to each other, but at the same time, this is almost like doing or using nature as a reference, because this is exactly like if you had a sunflower outside. It's yellow, and then you have the green leaves. So again, now that we have the outside part already colored in, I'm just going in to touch up certain areas that I want to make a little bit darker, that have a little bit of white in them. I'm going to go over the inside part with yellow-green, again creating those three sections of the color wheel to match. So we have yellow-green on the inside. Okay. As you can see, it's very harmonious. All the colors complement each other. Nothing's popping out too much in your face. Looks nice. Okay, so now we're gonna move on and move on to the next layer, which are these little leaves on the side. So I could either continue with this pattern or maybe jump across to something a little bit more bold. And I think I do want to do that. So I'm going to go with red. I'm going to paint at least the big ones, because if you notice, there are these red ones. I want to do the big ones red. And actually, I might even do all three of these, since they're touching green, so that it stays harmonious. And actually, this is my mistake. If you notice, this one looks, to me at least, red. But this one's a red. So make sure you double check exactly what color pencils you're using. I'll go over it with red, see if that kind of fixes it. Hopefully it does. That way I can continue with the rest of these red. See if there's a huge difference. There is a bit of a difference. So I'm going to go over it again. Hopefully I'm able to save a bit of it. So again, before you start drawing, double check so you don't create the same mistakes I do. Okay, so red. There is a slight different tint to those leaves now, if you notice. They do look a little bit different than the ones that are completely red by themselves. That's another way to tint specific sections if you want a different color while you're using colored pencils. But I did want red, so we'll see. Okay, so if you notice right here, it looks really well where it's harmonious, but it becomes a little bit more vivid right here because these aren't exactly complementary to the green. They're somewhat complementary because the color I used was red-orange, even though, again, if you're going straight across, it should be red. But red-orange is pretty close. So what I'm going to do to make it completely even is I'll go over it with the red-orange. You know what? No. Well, yes. And the reason why is that now, since I'm blending each of them to match, I'm going to do this one red so it matches with the tertiary colors of this one. And that whole color palette will match this color palette that we have here. That way it'll be even, but at the same time it'll balance out. So we're going to create a nice balance up here to complement this balance right here. Red. So then we have a red that we're actually going to do around this whole outer area. So again, we have red, orange, which is what we accidentally used right now. So I'm going to use this red to fill this area in. And then I'm going to use orange to fill this outer layer. And that way, these leaves will complement these. We have these right here. Again, red to complement the red orange, and then we're going to have orange on the outer layer. Again, these are all tertiary colors complementing each other, but they're also directly opposite of each other to complement these three colors in the middle. Here we have the final red petal. Touch up those petals a little bit, see if there's any white left over so I could fill it in. Because there are some areas where it's a little bit lighter than I'd like. Again, this is my preference, but feel free to see if you would like it to be a little bit darker. What I sometimes tend to do, and I like to do, is I go around the edges and I darken it to create a little bit of a contrast. But okay, we'll see if we could do that at the very end. So now, again, we have red. We have red orange, so now orange would be this outer layer. Let's do that. Again, going back to touch up everything. So you can see it complements each other very well. We have the yellow, green, red, orange, and orange. They all complement each other because they're right next to each other on the color wheel. Again, red, and orange. And then right here in the middle, we have yellow, green, and green. So now what we need to decide is how we're going to divide the rest of it into specific colors.